If you're reading this, it means he hasn't gotten you yet. That's the only good news I've got for you. I don't know your name. I don't know where you live. But if you found this list, it's already too late to pretend your life is normal. You've noticed the patterns, haven't you? The missing people, the flicker of movement outside your window when no one's supposed to be there, the gut-deep chill that crawls up your spine every time your phone rings and no one's on the other end. I used to think it was coincidence too. Bad luck, wrong place, wrong time. Then my neighbor disappeared, then my coworker, then my sister. No signs of struggle, just gone, vanished like smoke. And every time I tried to tell someone, they looked at me like I was unraveling. Maybe I was, but I survived so far. And survival means knowing the truth. There is someone out there, and they are hunting people like you and me. Quietly, carefully, with surgical precision. This isn't a ghost story. It's worse, because he's real, and he's watching. So, read these tips, memorize them, carve them into the back of your mind. Because if he finds you unprepared, you won't have time to scream. Tip 1, don't ignore the feeling that you're being watched. It always starts the same way. A twitch in your neck, the weight of invisible eyes pressing down between your shoulder blades, a cold flutter in your stomach that doesn't quite go away, no matter how many times you tell yourself to relax. That's not paranoia. That's instinct, and he wants you to ignore it. You'll tell yourself it's nothing, just stress, just your imagination. But one day, you'll close the curtains and catch the faintest silhouette across the street, standing still, too still, behind a lamppost that flickers once and goes out. You'll blink, and he'll be gone. You'll hear footsteps behind you when you're alone, a whisper in your hallway when the windows are locked and the doors haven't moved, a wrong number that doesn't say anything at first, just breathing, faint and steady. Then your name, spoken low, like a secret. That's when the clock starts ticking. Most people try to forget the feeling, to push it down. That's their mistake. Because once you convince yourself there's nothing there, you stop checking. You stop locking the back door. You stop looking behind you when you hear something moving in the dark. And he's counting on that. So listen to me. If something feels off, it is. If you feel watched, you are. Paranoia won't get you killed, but comfort will. Tip 2, trust no one who shows up unannounced. He doesn't kick down doors, he knocks, and sometimes he looks like someone you love. It happened 3 nights after I found the first letter. There was a knock at my apartment door. 3 soft taps. I checked the peephole and saw my best friend, Marcus, standing there with his hood up and a nervous smile on his face. He didn't say anything, just raised his hand and waved like everything was normal. But Marcus had been acting strange for weeks, distant, hard to reach. I hesitated, asked through the door why he came by so late. He didn't answer. He just tilted his head and smiled wider, like a dog waiting for a command. Something about his eyes was wrong, glassy, empty, like he was there, but not there. I didn't open the door. The next morning, I got a call. The real Marcus had been found in his home, dead for at least 2 days. Whoever was at my door wasn't him. That's the trick. The killer doesn't need to break in if you let him inside. He learns voices, expressions, mannerisms. He mimics people so well that your brain won't notice what your gut already knows. Something is off. If someone shows up unexpectedly, don't answer. Don't speak. Don't even approach the door. Wait. Watch. Listen. Ask a question only the real person would know. Then listen to what they don't say. He's good, but he's not perfect. He's just close enough to kill you. Tip 3. Never return to the scene of the first kill. You'll be tempted. That's the worst part. You'll think you missed something, a clue, a detail the cops overlooked, something that will explain how a life can be snuffed out so cleanly, so silently. Don't go back. Not ever. My sister's apartment was the first scene. Clean, undisturbed, coffee still warm, keys still on the table. Her phone was face down, one half-typed message glowing on the screen. Just her name, typed once, like she'd been interrupted. There was no blood, no sign of forced entry, no struggle, just silence. The police said maybe she ran, maybe she hurt herself, but I knew my sister. She didn't run, and she didn't break. So I went back. I stood in the living room and tried to become her, replayed her last steps, tried to breathe the air she breathed. That's when I saw it. On the window, a smear, barely visible, like a finger dragged through condensation. A message written backwards from the outside. You shouldn't be here. I left immediately. 2 days later, someone else disappeared, my coworker Ben. He lived 1 floor below my sister's place. He helped me get in that night. Now he's gone too. The killer waits for you to revisit pain. He baits it. He knows grief makes you slow, distracted. He knows you'll be too busy chasing ghosts to notice the lock's been picked or the closet door didn't close all the way. So whatever place you first felt the world fall apart, leave it behind. There's nothing there but memories. And him. Tip 4. Burn the letters. They start showing up once he knows you're scared. No return address, no stamps, just plain envelopes, usually slipped through a window crack or left at your doorstep before dawn. Inside, a piece of paper, folded 3 times, always written in the same meticulous, almost delicate handwriting. At first, it's small things. A mention of the outfit you wore 2 Tuesdays ago. A comment about the way you stir your coffee counterclockwise. A reminder of the time you cried in your car after pretending everything was fine all day. Then the letters get darker, more specific. He starts recounting conversations you've never told anyone about. Private, intimate things. Regrets, sins. The secrets you buried and promised to forget. He doesn't threaten you. He doesn't have to. He wants you to keep reading, to wonder how much he knows, to obsess over what camera he used, what mic he planted, what day he started watching you. You'll go mad trying to figure it out. That's the point. The letters aren't warnings. They're psychological traps. And it's the last line that does the most damage. That one final sentence he tacks on, like a dagger between the ribs. Something like, You looked right at me today. You just didn't know. Or worse, I'm in the photo on your fridge. I kept the first 6 letters, read them over and over like they held some code. I memorized the handwriting, compared the ink, even smelled the paper for clues. By the 7th letter, I realized I hadn't slept in days, hadn't eaten, hadn't spoken to anyone. I was already unraveling. That's when I finally set them on fire. Burn the letters, burn them all. Don't open the last one. No matter how badly you want to know what it says. That's how he gets inside your head. And once he's in, he never leaves. Tip 5. Stay off the grid, but not alone. Your phone is a leash, your smart TV, a two-way mirror, your laptop's webcam. Don't even get me started. You think you're safe because you have locks, alarms, passwords, but he doesn't need to break in anymore. He just waits for you to invite him through your devices. At first, I tried blocking him out, disabled my GPS, tossed my phone into a lake and wiped my computer. I stopped using credit cards, started paying cash. I became a ghost, or so I thought. Then the photos started. Not digital, printed, slipped under motel doors, taped to the rearview mirror of a car I didn't recognize. Me, brushing my teeth in a rest stop bathroom. Me, sleeping in the back seat. Me, walking down a road I hadn't told anyone I was headed toward. He doesn't need the internet to find you. He follows patterns, habits, weaknesses. Going off-grid made it harder for him, but not impossible. And the worst part, I did it alone. No texts, no calls, no witnesses. So when things started happening, no one believed me. I told myself it was safer this way. That isolation meant control. But all it really meant was no one would hear me scream. So yes, cut the digital leash, erase your trail, but don't isolate completely. Find someone real, someone you trust to watch your back. And I mean really trust, not just someone you want to believe in, because he hunts the ones no one checks in on, the ones who disappear without making a sound, and silence is his favorite place to kill. Tip 6. Change your routine every day. He doesn't strike when you're at your weakest. He strikes when you're most predictable. That's the thing about killers like him. He doesn't chase. He waits, observes, watches you enough times to learn when you leave for work, which direction you walk your dog, how long you shower, how often you check the back door, but forget the side window. You live your life on loops, and he just has to wait for the right one. I used to jog every morning at 6 a.m. Same path, same playlist, same bottle of water tucked into my side pouch, like muscle memory. It made me feel stable, human, in control. Then one morning, I found it, tucked under the windshield wiper of my car. A Polaroid, grainy, pale, me running. The timestamp was yesterday. The angle was from above, like it had been taken from a rooftop. I stopped running after that, but it didn't matter. I was already on his list. So now, I live like I'm being hunted. Because I am. I never leave at the same time twice. I never take the same route to the store. I set alarms at random hours and force myself to move when they go off. Eat dinner at 2 a.m. Sleep during the day. change clothes mid-afternoon just to stay ahead of his notes. It's exhausting, but still better than being carved open on your own kitchen floor at the exact minute you always brew your tea. Patterns are comfort, and comfort is how he gets close enough to touch you. So change your path, break your rhythm, live like every minute could be your last, because if he's watching, it just might be. Tip 7. If you hear knocking after midnight, don't answer, even if it's your name. There's something about a knock in the middle of the night that turns blood cold. 3 soft taps, not urgent, not panicked, just patient. I got my first one at 3:12 a.m. I was in a rented cabin in the woods, miles from the nearest town. No one knew I was there. I froze, waited. Maybe it was a tree branch, maybe an animal. I told myself anything but what I already knew deep down. He'd found me. Then came the voice, muffled, low, but clear enough through the wood. It's me. Open up. The voice sounded like my brother. Same tone, same cadence, even the same dumb half-laugh he always used when he was nervous. But my brother was dead. Had been for 3 years. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The voice repeated itself, word for word, same inflection, same rhythm, like it was replaying, not speaking. Then silence for 5 minutes straight. Then one final knock, a whisper so quiet I almost missed it. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I didn't sleep that night. When I checked the next morning, there were no footprints in the snow. Nothing but a smear on the door frame, like something pressed its forehead against the wood and stayed there for a long, long time. He uses voices, faces, familiarity. It's how he gets inside, how he convinces you to open the door willingly, heart pounding, but hope flickering just enough to make you ignore the dread. If you hear someone you love outside after midnight, don't open the door. Don't even speak. Just wait. Let the silence stretch. He doesn't like silence. He wants the invitation. So deny it. Let him stand out there all night if he wants. Let him whisper. Let him knock. But whatever you do, don't answer. Tip 8. Keep a weapon in every room. You won't have time to run. He waits for the moment when you're most off guard, brushing your teeth, microwaving leftovers, mid-sentence on a call. He's already inside by then. The lock didn't hold. The window latch was just loose enough. Or maybe he never left in the first place. The first time I saw him up close, I was in the bathroom. The mirror had fogged over while I showered. When I wiped it clean, he was standing behind me, face half shadowed, head tilted, still as stone. I didn't scream. I didn't move. I just lunged for the nearest thing I could find. Scissors. Hair-cutting scissors from a travel kit I hadn't touched in years. I slashed wildly, caught him across the forearm. The pain didn't make him flinch, but it made him pause. And that pause saved my life. He didn't kill me that night, but he left me a message carved into the hallway wall. Next time, be quicker. After that, I started thinking like prey, then like bait. Now, I think like a weapon. Every room I enter, I mark my exits. I check drawers, closets. I make sure there's something sharp, heavy, or blunt within reach. A kitchen knife in the freezer, a hammer taped under the coffee table, a screwdriver wedged between couch cushions. My home is no longer for comfort. It's a kill box, because he will come back. And when he does, you'll only have seconds. So don't rely on luck. Don't wait for the police. Arm yourself. Everywhere. Always. You don't get to relax anymore. You get to survive. Tip 9. Don't investigate the disappearances. You'll want to know why. Why they vanished. Why no one talks about it. Why the news reports are so vague. No foul play suspected, even when there's blood on the ceiling. Why people keep leaving without a trace, and no one seems to remember their names. You'll think the answers will help you sleep at night. They won't. I tried to dig. Message boards, police scanners, forums full of red string and desperate survivors. I started building a map, connecting sightings, timelines, possible identities. He has many. He's been doing this a long, long time. And then the replies started coming. At first they were helpful. Names I hadn't seen before, patterns I hadn't noticed. But one night someone messaged me directly. No name, just an icon of a blank face. The message simply read, "You're close." That same night, my laptop camera turned on by itself. It doesn't matter how careful you are. The deeper you dig, the more you expose. You shine a light into the dark and forget that something might be looking back. I thought I could solve the puzzle, stop him, warn people. All I did was make myself easier to find. Everyone I shared my notes with is gone now. One died in a car crash. One jumped off a bridge. One just stopped responding. I still don't know if they were real people. I don't think I want to know anymore. So stop looking. Stop chasing clues. Stop asking questions that only have one answer. He's better at this than you are. This isn't your story to solve. It's your nightmare to survive. Tip 10. He's already been inside. You've locked the doors. You've changed your routines. You've followed every tip. And yet, something still feels wrong. It's subtle at first. A photo frame tilted slightly on the shelf. A coffee mug in the sink you don't remember using. A strange static buzz on the radio when you're sure it was off. Then it gets worse. You wake up to muddy footprints on the hardwood floor, leading from the hallway to the foot of your bed. You find a fork in the drawer that doesn't match your set. You catch your own scent on a coat you've never worn. He doesn't need to break in anymore, because he already has. Maybe he slipped in weeks ago, while you were in the shower. Maybe he's been living in your crawl space. Maybe he installed a false wall while you were at work, and he's been watching you from just inches away. This isn't a home anymore. It's a hunting ground, and you're not the predator. The final straw for me was the journal. I never kept one, never wrote a word. But there it was on my kitchen table, leather-bound, weathered, full of entries. Pages and pages of thoughts I never wrote, feelings I never confessed, memories twisted into nightmares. And at the bottom of the last page, a single sentence: "You should have checked the attic." I burned the house down that night. I didn't pack, didn't think. I just ran. And even now, I wonder if that was exactly what he wanted. Because he's not just in your house, he's in your mind, in your habits, in your life. He was always ahead of you. He's still ahead of you. And he's getting closer. If you've made it this far, I hope something I wrote helped. I don't know how much time I have left. Things have gone quiet again. That's how I know he's near. He doesn't make noise until he wants you to hear it. He lets you think you're alone, lets you feel safe long enough to breathe again. Then he takes it all away. I've changed names, burned my ID. I don't sleep in the same place twice. I haven't looked in a mirror in days because I saw someone else staring back last time. Someone smiling. I don't know if this message will reach anyone. I left it where I thought he wouldn't look, where someone like me might find it. But if you're reading this, you've already seen him, haven't you? Maybe a glimpse across the street, maybe a voice calling your name from behind a closed door, maybe something you dismissed, just a shadow, just a trick of the light. It wasn't. You're on his list now. Don't make the mistake I did. Don't try to fight the silence with reason. Don't think you can win. Just run and pray he gets bored. But he won't. He never does.